Hello, fabulous entrepreneur, and welcome to another episode of the Heart Centered Business Podcast. This is episode number 177, so you can find all the show notes and relevant links at tashcorbin.com/177. In today's episode, we are going to be answering the question, are you ready for sales funnels and making sales on autopilot? Sounds pretty sexy, right? Let's get started. I'm Tash Corbin, and this is the Heart Centered Business Podcast. So I guess this is the dream as an entrepreneur, as someone who has an online service-based business, to be able to make money in your sleep, make sales on autopilot, and have sales funnels do the selling activities for you is a very, very appealing concept. And a lot of people jump into trying to create automated sales processes way too quickly, and they spend a lot of time creating funnels that never actually convert effectively. And so I've been, over the last few years, when I talk about sales funnels and making sales on autopilot, I've been talking about, well, what are the things you need to have in order to be ready to build that funnel and know that it's going to be effective and it's going to work for your business. So when it comes to deciding whether or not you're ready for sales funnels and making sales on autopilot, we actually need to first and foremost separate those two concepts. Number one is sales funnels, and number two is selling on autopilot, because actually they are two different things. So a sales funnel is anything that takes someone from curious about your work or finding you somewhere through a process that warms them up to the concept of working with you and then invites them to make a purchase. Selling on autopilot is where you then set that sales funnel up so that it works completely independently of your time, your energy, that it's pouring people in the top and spitting out sales out the bottom without you actually having to be involved in that process in any one-to-one capacity with the people who are going through that sales funnel. So the reason why I separate those two things out is because from the very beginning of our businesses, we are actually building the components of sales funnels, whether we're conscious of it or not. And so the question is, are you building sales funnels consciously and strategically, or are you just building them haphazardly and by accident? And if you aren't being considered and strategic about the way that you funnel people into your business, then a little bit of time and a little bit of consideration can go a long way to improving the results of your business with just a few minor tweaks and changes. So let's talk about sales funnels when you're first starting out in business. Even if you only sell one-to-one, you can have people read a blog post of yours or listen to a podcast episode, then jump in and grab a freebie or jump onto your mailing list, and then from there receive a few emails, a sequence of emails that encourages them to reach out and have a conversation with you about whether working with you as a one-to-one client is the right fit for them right now. So you can see that that's actually a sales funnel. That is actually inviting people to take an action that could potentially result in them being a paying client of yours. The thing is that sales funnel, the end point of that sales funnel is generally for them to book in a conversation with you. It's to book in and have a sales call, basically. And that sales call is the one-to-one element. So the funnel can be doing some of the work in warming people up and helping them get to know your work and what it is that you are about. But ultimately, whether that funnel converts or not will come down to having that conversation with someone. But at the moment, if I said to you, if you could build a few things and set up a few automated things in your business, you could have people booking in for sales conversations with you every single week. I'm pretty sure that would be appealing to you, whether you are in the early stages of business or the more advanced stages of business. Whatever your big VIP offer is, being able to automatically funnel people into setting themselves up to have a conversation with you about working together, it's a pretty sexy concept. And so even in the early stages of business, you are ready to build sales funnels, but they have a very different job compared to those automated sales funnels that might be selling your evergreen course or program, or automated sales funnels that sell your book for people who are coming in and learning about your business. So that's the startup part of sales funnels. And really, all you need to be ready for those kinds of sales funnels is a proof of concept that people are going to pay you for your services, that you know that you have a saleable product or service. So you have to have some proof of concept, because there's no point going out and building that funnel if you don't even know if people are willing to pay for your services at the end of it yet. So you do need to have some form of proof of concept. And the second thing is probably having a real clarity around your niche and your messaging, so that you know how to communicate what you do, you know what your ideal clients are looking for, and that process of taking them from what they think they need to understanding what they really need to then presenting what those next steps are to potentially working with you. So it's that basically taking what you are doing now to make sales in terms of your niche, your messaging, and your value proposition, and turning that into a step-by-step process for people who get to know your business and stumble across you on social media, or see you in a Facebook group, or come along and listen to a blog post of yours or a video of yours on YouTube. So you can sell to one-to-one through those funnels when you're first starting out, but the call to action is different. The job that it needs to do is to encourage people to jump in and have a conversation with you in most cases, because the chances of someone going from cold audience member to listening to a blog post to then going, oh yeah, it's $4,000 to work with you as a VIP, here, click, take my money, here's my credit card details. You want to make sure that you have a conversation with people when you're selling VIP services like that to make sure it's a good fit for you and them. There's clarity around what the goals are and what you're working towards, and you can make sure that it's a good fit for both of you. So as long as you have clarity on your niche, your message, and your value proposition, you're really able to build sales funnels as you go from those early stages of your business. Now, then when it comes to building the more advanced sales funnel, so let's say you're selling online courses, and normally you sell through a launch process. So you have a webinar, you have a certain percentage of people who come along to that webinar, purchase your course, you run a live round of your course, or people join in, and that's really how you're making sales of your online program at this stage. That's still a sales funnel. It's just a very active sales funnel. It's not sales on autopilot. To convert that from being very active to also having people purchase that course or program evergreen or on autopilot, all you really need to do is know that you've got a launch that works. So if you know that if you run this launch webinar, you get this much conversion, if you run that challenge, you get this much conversion, then you can actually turn that information into an automated sales funnel. It's just a matter of considering what is the right medium for the freebie or the lead magnet. What are the email sequences that you will need to then send people through in order to answer their questions, deal with some of those buyer psychology things like social proof, understanding what the outcome is going to be so that you can actually talk them through that process in your email sequence, and then having a really great sales page that they can then click over if they're interested in it and purchase and join your program. So it's simply taking something that was active and turning it into something that is more passive. Here are a couple of little tips for you if you are setting up those more passive sales funnels. Number one, you don't need to be spammy, and you don't need to send 17 emails in 5 days. Yes, a lot of big marketers out there use those strategies and they're playing a big numbers game, but that's a churn and burn funnel. Those types of funnels have a 15 to sometimes even 50% unsubscribe rate because people are like, oh my God, you're so overwhelming with emails. Calm the farm, and they unsubscribe because you're basically teaching people from the very beginning that they can expect to hear from you a hell of a lot of times. So I have been able to develop sales funnels where the email follow-up sequence is maybe 4 emails in 12 days. I've even got a very successful automated sales funnel into my academy that is 3 emails over the course of 10 days. Those 3 emails are converting at a rate of about 1 to 2%. So for every 100 people who sign up for that freebie, 1 or 2 end up joining my Heart-Centered Business Academy, and it only has a 1% unsubscribe rate. So I only usually lose 1 person out of that sales process from those 3 emails that I send through. So it does take a bit of time and energy and trial and error and practice to be able to develop funnels that work really well, but they don't need to be overwhelming and bombarding people with sales information. Tip number 2 is look at the numbers and test your funnel with your organic reach first. So what I usually recommend to people is build the funnel and then go out and get 100 people to go through it through your organic reach. Posting on social media, on your Facebook page, in Facebook groups, send an email to your existing followers on your mailing list and let them know about this freebie that you've got, and set yourself a challenge of getting 100 people to go through that funnel. That will give you some really juicy information about how easily people are actually signing up and how attractive it is to them, how many people actually read the emails that they get in the follow-up sequence and do the thing, and how well it converts people into paying clients. Once you've got that information, you can make some tweaks and changes. So, for example, if there's a particular email that doesn't have a good open rate, chances are you need to change the subject line. If there is an email that's got a good open rate but no one's clicking through to the sales page, then you probably need to look at how you're presenting that value proposition and how quickly you're getting to the point in the email. Or if you get lots of people clicking over to the sales page but no one purchased, your sales page needs to be reviewed. So with that 100 people that have been through the funnel, you've got great information to make some tweaks and changes. And then once that funnel is converting at least 0.5% or at least 1%, then you can go out and use some of those more paid and less organic strategies to fill that funnel. You know that it's going to actually result in some sales, so therefore it's not as risky for you to go out there and use some paid advertising to get people to come into that funnel and go through that process. So hopefully that gives you some insights, some inspiration and some ideas about how you can be a little more conscious with the way that you sell through funnels and build funnels in your business, and how you can start moving towards making sales on autopilot. I would love to continue the conversation over in the Heart-Centered Soul-Driven Entrepreneurs community. Go to tashcorbin.com/group and jump into the group, and using the hashtag #PodcastAha, let me know that you've been listening to episode 177, and I want to know what are your insights and what are your questions about sales funnels. I really look forward to continuing this conversation with you, and I really have enjoyed getting back on the horse with episodes of the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. Until next time, beautiful entrepreneur, I cannot wait to see you shine. Big love from me, and bye for now. Would you like more tips, tools, and resources to help you grow your heart-centered business? Head to tashcorbin.com today.